Hi, welcome back to this video series. In this entry, we're showing you how to deploy the Centrify Agent for Windows using group policy, how to configure it for MFA, rescue users, and corporate Windows 10 enrollment. In this video, we're gonna go through our test matrix here, and the idea here is to basically do a formal test of our activities. So the first test is the PKI trust. Uh, the agent would not be enabled if PKI trust is not in place, but the way that you do this verification is you open MMC and you add the certificate snappings for the computer. A lot of people get confused and open the one for the user. And in this case, just like we did with the GPO, we enabled PKI trust with the Centrify platform. So this is in place. So that test is passed. The second one is the software installation, right? So the software is installed if I go to the add remove programs applet, right? What you see is that there's going to be an entry for the Centrify agent for Windows here. And the agent configuration applet is in place, right? So um, typically this requires an administrative user, but notice that it's actually set up with the Centrify Entity platform. Um, this is the one that I was looking at, right? Um, configuration and rescue users test, right? So in here we need to make sure that a user is not challenged. We define this through a group in AD, and the group is called Centrify MFA rescue users. So Diana is a member of that group. Let's just say I wanted to log in remotely. So this is going to launch remote desktop against that machine. My expectation here is that this user will not be challenged for multi-factor authentication. And of course, it's going to kick out that user, but let's go ahead and kick her out because Windows 10 machines can only have one session at the same time. So it looks like Lisa is going to be kicked out. Right. So rescue users are important because you may need to do some troubleshooting. At the same time, we're also verifying that the multi-factor authentication rules work over IDP. So that's one test of that category. Let's take a look at the other categories here. Uh, okay, so this is good. Okay, so now we're going to test the MFA on console, remote, and in screen unlock. So on console, um, we're going to sign out this other user so we don't have to go through what happened before. So actually, let's do it over RDP because we know the console works already from the previous video. So let's try to log in with Lisa. And what's going to happen here is that Lisa is being prompted here for her password, and notice the multi-factor challenge here. We can use any of these methods. We already saw the one with SMS, so just to make life easy and the video shorter, we're going to use this unsecure method for MFA, and obviously you need to type the right things, otherwise it's not going to work. Um, but helps us with the event viewer test later, right? So notice that I was able to log in as well over RDP. So more tests. Okay, so we're going to lock the station, right? And let's go ahead and do that. We just do the Windows L. So it will be, let's see, actually, no, let's do Control Alt D. And we're going to lock, right? So now I used that in the wrong place. So let's see. This does go better at the actual workstation itself. Do Control Alt Delete. All right, so let's send Control Alt Delete to this box. We're gonna lock it, right? And if I want to unlock the machine, I'm gonna be challenged for multi-factor again, right? So one thing to, as an improvement, is you can actually set up a grace period for unlock. Perhaps somebody actually moves away from the desk, locks the machine, comes back very quickly. It doesn't make any sense to charge for multi-factor there. Depending on your security posture, you want to balance a little bit of usability there. Um, let's see, other tests. Of the MFA, this one is, I already onboarded a offline passcode. So the key here, here's what we're going to do. We're going to sign out, and we're going to disconnect the NIC card of this machine to actually trigger this test. So in this case, we're going to disable the network adapter at the hypervisor level. So we're going to try to log in. This is going to do the offline cache credentials. This is an unsecure machine, right? So typically you don't want to do that. If this is a privileged access workstation, you don't want to have cache credentials, and you can disable that using group policy. So notice that I'm being prompted for the offline passcode. I happen to have onboarded this already, so I have it right here. It's app lock. Let's just wait. 342499. And this proves that I can do the offline passcode. Um, let's see, Windows 10 MDM corporate enrollment. We can verify this by looking at the actual portal, right? So one thing that happened was, if I look at my endpoints, now I have a Windows 10 endpoint that is corporate enrolled, right? And if I look at, for example, I have some attributes of the machine here. I can look at the activity and notice that I've been doing plenty of testing here, so a lot of activity from today. Here's location is not enabled, and this is the policy summary. So in terms of MDM, limited MDM capabilities that I have, I can do a wipe, I can do an unenroll. This list is only going to grow. And in here, I've queued a ping, and I'm pinging the device as well. So let's take a look at another test. Okay, Audit Trail, right? We need to make sure that we have Audit Trail. For this, we're going to open the event log on the target machine. And we're going to go to the application log. And we're going to look at a Centrify Audit Trail V2 events. So here's an audit trail. This is when I was able to log in, right? Notice that I have an audit trail when I failed to provide a response. So you're going to see an audit trail for all MFA events. At this point, you can, if this is a secure workstation, very, very likely you want to integrate this with your SIM tool. And this gives you basically a set of tests, if you wanted to verify that this lab works. And we're hoping that this video series has helped you.